Welcome to the Deep Dive. You know, figuring out spoken English. It can feel like trying to solve a puzzle sometimes, right?
Absolutely. It's such a common hurdle.
Native speakers talk fast, they use slang you've maybe never heard, and then you've got all the different accents. It can honestly make you wonder if you'll ever really get it.
It really can feel overwhelming. But, the good news is listening isn't some magic talent you're born with.
Right.
It's definitely a skill. And like any skill, you can build it up with the right methods, consistent practice, and, well, a bit of patience.
Exactly. So think of this deep dive as your guide. We've looked at research, real experiences, and pulled together 12 really powerful, practical strategies to help sharpen your English listening. Our mission today really is to give you tools you can start using, right away.
Yeah, consider this an exploration into how your brain actually learns language. We'll break down why these techniques work, hopefully giving you the confidence to actually weave them into your learning routine.
Okay, let's get into it then. Strategy number 1 seems simple on the surface: daily listening.
It sounds simple, but it's so foundational. Think of it this way. Short, regular bursts of listening are like watering a plant a little bit every day. It keeps it growing steadily.
Okay.
Whereas, long, infrequent sessions, that's more like a huge downpour after a long dry spell. So water gets absorbed, sure, but the growth isn't as consistent.
Right, so we're talking maybe just 10, 20 minutes a day. Is that really enough?
It can be, yeah. The key is the consistency. Your brain loves repetition. It loves routine. Daily exposure gets your brain used to the sounds, the rhythm, the sort of musicality of English.
Musicality, I like that.
Yeah, it builds this familiarity that you just don't get as effectively from cramming,
So it's about creating that steady stream of input. What kind of stuff should people listen to for this daily dose?
Well, variety helps keep things interesting. Podcasts are great, obviously. Short YouTube videos on topics you actually like, or even just a scene or two from a TV show you enjoy. The main thing is that it holds your attention.
And the great thing is you can fit it in pretty easily, right? Like walking, cooking.
Oh, totally. Brushing your teeth, waiting for the bus. It's about weaving English into the little moments of your day.
Making it a habit.
Exactly. Once it's a habit, it doesn't feel like this massive effort anymore. You just do it.
All right, strategy 2. This tackles something a lot of learners use: subtitles. But we're suggesting a smarter way to use them.
Yeah, exactly. Subtitles are super helpful, no doubt.
Yeah.
But they can also become a kind of visual crutch, right? Your eyes do the work, and your ears don't get the workout they need.
Okay, I can see that. So what's the smarter approach?
We suggest the kind of 3-step method. First, watch whatever it is, a clip, a scene with English subtitles on.
Okay, standard first step.
Right. This helps you connect the sounds you're hearing with the words on the screen. Step 2, watch it again. Same clip, but subtitles off.
Okay. The listening challenge.
Yeah, this forces your ears to really engage. See what you pick up just by listening. Then, step 3, watch it one more time, still no subtitles, but this time try pausing after short phrases and repeating them out loud.
Repeating them. Okay, interesting. So listening and speaking.
Exactly. It reinforces what you heard, plus it starts tuning your ear and even your mouth to the rhythm and pronunciation.
And I guess this helps with that thing where spoken English sometimes sounds like one long word, like, what you doing, instead of what are you doing?
Absolutely. Seeing what are you doing, written out first, helps you understand how it gets squished together in speech. This method really bridges that gap between reading English and actually hearing it naturally.
So the goal is to gradually rely less on reading and more on listening.
Trust your ears. You got it.
Trust your ears.
Okay, next up, strategy 3. This is one I found really effective myself. It's called shadowing.
Shadowing. Yes. It sounds a little mysterious, maybe.
A little bit. But it's incredibly powerful. Basically, it's active mimicking. You're training your ears and your vocal cords at the same time.
So how does it actually work? Walk us through it.
Okay, so you pick a short audio or video clip, maybe just a minute or two long.
Right.
Play one sentence.
Yeah.
Just one. Then pause it immediately.
Pause. Okay.
And then you repeat that sentence out loud, trying to copy the speaker exactly.
Exactly, meaning more than just the words.
Oh, much more. You're trying to match their intonation, the rise and fall of their voice.
That's a melody, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, the melody. Copy their pronunciation, the speed they're talking at, even try to capture the emotion behind the words.
Wow, okay. That sounds intense, like really active listening.
It is, and that's why it works so well. It's like a triple benefit. Improves your pronunciation because you're physically making the sounds. It improves your sense of English rhythm. And, crucially for today, It forces you to listen with incredible focus to catch all those details.
It's like you're not just hearing the language, you're trying to feel it, almost embody it.
That's a great way to put it, like learning a song by singing along, not just listening. Start with simple stuff like basic conversations or maybe short talks, and just try a little bit each day.
Moving on to number 4. Let's talk podcasts again, but specifically podcasts made for English learners.
Yes, these are such a valuable resource. They're designed with comprehension in mind. So the speakers usually talk more clearly, maybe a bit slower, and they often explain tricky vocabulary or phrases. They focus on useful, real-life English.
That definitely sounds less intimidating than jumping straight into, say, a fast-paced news podcast. Any examples you recommend?
Sure. There are some great ones out there. BBC Learning English has tons of different stuff. The English We Speak is good for everyday idioms. Voice of America Learning English uses simplified English for news and features. All Ears English is also popular, focusing on connection.
And a lot of these offer transcripts, right? That seems really helpful.
Huge help. Being able to read along while you listen or check things afterwards really reinforces the learning. It's like built-in support.
So once you feel more confident with those, where do you go next in the podcast world?
Well, as your ear gets better, you can start dipping your toes into podcasts made for native speakers. Find topics you're actually interested in.
Right.
Shows like This American Life for stories, The Daily from the New York Times for news, stuff you should know for, well, everything.
Yeah.
But the key is gradually. Don't expect to understand 100% right away. Just expose yourself to it.
Good advice. Okay, strategy 5 brings us back to screens. Repeated viewing of TV shows or movies.
Yeah, this is about going deep rather than wide. Instead of watching bits of lots of different things, pick one show or movie and really live with it for a while.
What's the benefit of watching the same thing over and over? Seems like it could get boring.
It might seem like it, but repetition is incredibly powerful for language learning. Your brain starts to internalize the patterns, the rhythm, the way people really talk without you even consciously trying.
Okay. So the first watch, you're focused on the plot.
Exactly. But the second or third time, your brain is freer to notice the language itself, how they phrase things, the pronunciation details, the jokes you missed the first time.
And you mentioned picking shows with lots of natural conversation, like Friends or The Office.
Yeah, sitcoms are often great for this. Lots of everyday chat. Modern Family, Brooklyn 99, those work really well too because they're full of conversational language.
So what's the best way to approach this repeated viewing? Is it similar to the subtitle strategy?
Very similar, yeah. That 3-step process works well here too. Watch an episode once with English subtitles, get the story, connect sound and text.
Okay.
Then watch it again, no subtitles, just listen. Focus hard on understanding through your ears.
Right.
Then, maybe on a third viewing, pause occasionally when you hear an interesting phrase or something you want to practice, and repeat it out loud.
So each viewing adds another layer. First plot, then listening comprehension, then maybe pronunciation and active use.
Exactly. You probably surprise yourself how much more you understand each time, picking up on slang, accents, humor, all without needing the subtitles eventually.
Okay, strategy 6. You called this one a secret weapon, which is intriguing. Dictation.
Yeah, it might sound a bit old school, maybe remind people of language class.
Definitely.
But honestly, don't knock it till you try it. Dictation is fantastic for sharpening your listening accuracy, like really drilling down into the details.
So how does this secret weapon work?
It's simple, really. Find a short audio clip, YouTube, podcast, or whatever, just a minute or two.
Okay.
Listen to a short chunk, maybe one sentence, or even just part of a sentence. Pause it, and then write down exactly what you heard, word for word.
Don't worry about spelling too much at first.
Not initially, no.
Yeah.
Just get the sounds down. Then compare what you wrote to the actual transcript or subtitles.
Okay. I could see how that would immediately show you where you misheard something.
Precisely. It forces your brain to pay attention to those tiny differences. Like, did they say can or can't? Sometimes the T sound gets dropped, right?
Yeah, happens all the time.
Or common reductions like gonna for going to, wanna for want to. Dictation trains your ear to catch those things that often trip learners up. It really fine-tunes your auditory perception.
That makes a lot of sense. Sounds like a very focused workout for the ears.
It really is. And you don't need to do hours of it. Just a few minutes each day can make a noticeable difference over time.
Let's shift gears to something maybe more fun for many people. Strategy 7. Using music.
Music. It's not just entertainment. It's a genuinely valuable learning tool. And it's enjoyable. which helps motivation.
So not just any music, though. What should we look for?
Well, for learning purposes, it helps to choose English songs where the lyrics are relatively clear. Starting with slower songs can be easier, so you can actually catch the words.
Any examples come to mind?
Maybe something like Adele's Someone Like You, or Ed Sheeran's Perfect, or Bruno Mars' Count on Me. Songs where the articulation is pretty good.
Okay, got a song. What's the process? Just listen.
You can start that way, sure. Listen once just to get the feel. Then try listening again and actually try to write down the lyrics you hear.
Like a dictation but with music.
Kind of, yeah. Don't worry about perfection. Then find the official lyrics online and compare. See what you missed, what you got right.
And then,
the really fun part. Sing along.
Okay. How does belting out Ed Sheeran help my listening?
Well, singing along helps internalize the rhythm and flow of the language. Music often uses informal contractions and natural pronunciation, so it trains your ear for faster, more casual English. Plus, the emotional connection you have with music can actually help you remember new words and phrases better.
That's pretty cool. Okay, strategy 8 might push some people's comfort zones.
Self-recording. Recording yourself speaking English.
Yeah, this one can feel a bit awkward at first, hearing your own voice speaking a foreign language. Definitely.
But the payoff is huge, both for your speaking and your listening. It's about self-assessment.
So what do you record? Just talking?
Pretty much. Pick a topic, anything you're interested in or learning about. Talk about it in English for just a minute or two. Doesn't have to be perfect, just talk. Then, the crucial part. Listen back to the recording.
Okay. Cringing slightly, maybe, but listening back. What am I listening for?
You're listening for a few things. Are there words you consistently mispronounce? Is your intonation conveying the right meaning? Or does it sound flat? Where do you hesitate or search for words?
So it's like getting direct feedback from yourself.
Exactly. And doing this actually improves your listening skills too, because you start training your ear to recognize what sounds right versus what sounds slightly off. You become a better judge of your own output, which makes you a better listener overall.
That's a smart way to connect speaking and listening, building that internal monitor.
Precisely. It attunes you to the sounds from the inside out.
All right, strategy 9 takes us into the world of tech, language learning apps.
Yep, apps are super convenient. Lots of them now have really good listening practice built right in, and you can use them pretty much anywhere.
Any specific apps that are particularly good for listening skills?
There are quite a few. ELSA Speak is excellent for pronunciation, but it also has exercises to help you distinguish between similar sounds, which is key for listening.
Okay.
LingQ has a huge library of audio with transcripts you can follow along with. English Class 101 offers short lessons with native speakers. And for longer listening, Audible, for audiobooks is fantastic for immersion.
The convenience factor is huge there.
Totally. You can squeeze in practice on your commute while doing chores, waiting in line. Even just 5 or 10 minutes regularly adds up significantly over time.
Okay, strategy 10 is about interaction. Online English clubs or language exchanges.
Yes, this moves beyond passive listening into active, real-time conversation. And that's often where you see really accelerated progress in comprehension.
Because you have to understand to respond, right?
Exactly. It forces you to listen actively. Platforms like Tandem, HelloTalk, Speaky, Conversation Exchange, they connect you with native or fluent speakers all over the world.
So you find someone who wants to learn your language, and you teach each other.
That's often the model, yeah.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's just conversation practice groups. You can chat via text, voice calls, even video.
That sounds like amazing practice for understanding natural, spontaneous speech.
It really is invaluable. You're hearing different accents, picking up idioms, slang, cultural nuances, stuff you just don't get from textbooks. It's much closer to how we learned our first language, through interaction.
Makes sense. Strategy 11 leverages another huge online resource, YouTube immersion.
Yeah, YouTube is just an incredible ocean of English content. Whatever you're interested in, there's probably an English-speaking YouTuber talking about it.
So the advice is to subscribe to channels based on your interests.
Definitely. Find creators you genuinely enjoy watching. Cooking, gaming, tech, travel, makeup tutorials, book reviews, whatever floats your boat. The key is to watch creators who use natural, relatively unscripted English.
Are there specific channels focused on English learning that you'd point to?
Sure, channels like English with Lucy or Speak English with Vanessa are very popular and helpful. But also check out BBC Learning English's channel or real-life English. They often use more casual, real-world examples.
And what's the main learning benefit here? Just exposure?
It's targeted exposure. You start picking up natural expressions. You get used to different ways people pronounce things in conversation. You absorb vocabulary relevant to your interests. Basically, treat watching these videos like fun mini lessons.
Okay, and that brings us to our final strategy, number 12. This one feels more like a mindset. Patience and tracking progress.
Absolutely crucial. Learning to listen well takes time. It's not an overnight thing. There will be good days where everything seems to click, and frustrating days where it feels like you're going backwards.
Yeah, those frustrating days can be tough.
They can. But you have to remember that every time you listen intentionally, you are making progress, even if it doesn't feel like it in that moment. It's cumulative.
So how do we stay patient and, importantly, see that progress?
Well, one really effective way is to keep a simple language learning journal.
Okay. What do you put in it?
After you listen to something, just jot down maybe a few new words you learned or an expression you liked, or even just note down, hey, I understood the main idea of that podcast segment today.
Ah, so you're creating a record of small wins.
Exactly. And then every few weeks or once a month, look back through your journal. You'll be amazed at how much you've actually picked up. It's really motivating to see concrete evidence of your progress.
That's a great tip for sticking with it, seeing how far you've come.
It really helps maintain that patience and perspective.
So that's our deep dive, 12 powerful, realistic ways to boost your English listening.
And the big takeaway really is that consistent active listening is the name of the game.
So the question for you listening now is, which one of these tips jumps out at you? Which one are you going to try, maybe even today? Are you going to give shadowing a shot? Or maybe find an online conversation partner, or just commit to that 10 minutes of daily podcast listening?
Remember, it's those small, consistent actions every day that build up to big results over time. Much more effective than trying to do massive sessions infrequently.
Thank you so much for joining us for this exploration of how to really sharpen those listening skills. We hope these strategies feel useful and doable for you.
Absolutely. And just picking one, just taking that first step to try something new, that's often the spark that ignites real progress in your listening comprehension. Give it a go.